Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the friction. You must have observed in your daily life routine that the ball rolling over the floor stops suddenly after some time, right? When you rub the palm of your hands, it produces some heat. What should be the reason behind it? If you stop paddling your cycle, it stops after some time, right? So there are many more phenomena related in our daily life. If we imagine that, so there is a question that comes to our mind: why the ball stops after some time? Why the heat being produced when we rub our hands? And why the cycle stops after some time if we stop paddling? We know that in the chapter 4 we have studied that anything speed goes on decreasing if we apply a force in a direction opposite to the direction of motion of the body, right? Let us consider this is a body which is moving in this direction, right? And if we have applied this force in this direction, the speed will increase, right? Means if on applying the force in the direction of motion, the speed of that body will increase naturally. Suppose for example in a football ground, you must have observed this. When a player is trying to kick the football in a particular direction, and at the same time another person also kick in the same direction, the speed will increase, right? And if we apply a force in a direction opposite to the direction of motion, the speed of that body will decrease. This could be understood by the example. For example, one of your friend is pushing a box in the x direction, suppose, and you come and you push it in negative x direction opposite to it. So what is happening here? You are decreasing the speed of that box, right? So in this case we can say that if a body stops after some time or if the speed of a moving body decreases, it means there must be some opposing force that is acting in a direction opposite to the direction of motion, which causes its motion, means which decreases its speed, right? So from all this discussion we can say that a body which is rolling over the floor stops after some times only when there is an opposing force existing which is opposing its motion. So from this we can say friction is an opposing force, right? It is an opposing force which comes into play whenever there is relative motion between objects, right? Opposing force that comes into play whenever there is a relative motion between the objects. Here there is a relative motion between the ball and the floor, right? So this is basically friction. Similarly, as I have given the example of rubbing the hands, right? Some heat is being produced. Actually, whenever there is a friction, whenever there is an opposing force, so naturally there is a loss of energy, right? As I have already given you example of that, if you are pushing a box, right, you are applying some energy. In that case, another one of your friend come and push it in a backward direction, means opposite to your direction. So what is happening here? Your energy is being consumed and is being released. Similarly, when we rub the hands, in that case friction is existing there and energy released in the form of heat. So this is all about friction. Now discuss about what is the basic cause of friction. There are two basic theories we can say, that is, origin is based on old view and another one is modern view. Old view or classical view, that we have already studied in our junior classes, that the basic cause of friction is roughness, right? We know, we have this understood already, that whenever there are two rough surfaces sliding over each other, in that case friction will be more, right? because this creates a concept in our mind that that rough surface will get blocked over here, right? And it is difficult to move that rough surfaces, that both surfaces. So more is the area of contact, right? More is the area of contact, more is the roughness of the body, the frictional force will be more, right? But there is a limitation of this concept, because in that case it should depend upon the area of contact, right? Force should depend upon area of contact. More is the area of contact, more is the frictional force, because roughness is more and we need more force to get to move that bodies one over the another. But actual practice, the force of friction is independent of area. And second limitation is that if it depends upon roughness, so in that case, for extra smooth surfaces, the force of friction should vanish, right? It should completely vanish. But it has been observed that for extra smooth surfaces, they stick to each other, friction is increasing. For example, if you keep two glass plates, extra smooth glass plate, one above the another, you stack that one above the another, you will see that it is difficult to move that that glass slides from one above the another. So these two limitations can't be explained if we only focus over the roughness is the basic cause of friction. So here comes a modern view. According to that, the friction is basically depends upon the actual point of contact, right? The actual point of contact where the body is in contact with the another surface, and it depends upon the adhesive forces between the two surfaces. Adhesive forces means force between the molecules of one body to the another, right? So in that case, if we study that, in that case we can say that these two limitations can be overcome, right? Now let us discuss this, how these limitations can be overcome. This will be discussed in a next video.